Hello again. Welcome to another episode of Brenda's Musings. So, what do you do when you don't, when you try something and it doesn't work out the right way? Do you sort of pause for a moment? Do you think about, well, maybe there's another way of doing it and maybe try an alternate way? Do, do you throw your hands up in despair and just walk away from it? Do you hurl it across the room? Do you, curse and swear and stomp your feet? What do you do when something doesn't turn out the way you want it to turn out? I was working on an art project today, and it was a simple project. It should have taken me no time at all. It was very simple. The design was simple. I used a couple of old boards that I had going, and I couldn't get it to work. It was driving me nuts. And things that I had done, years previously, I kept thinking, have the supplies changed? Like, is it something different somehow? And then the gal I was doing it with, my friend, she and I, she read something and was like, oh, I thought, I didn't have to do that before. I'm sure I didn't. But maybe I had to do part of it, longer. And I'm looking over here because they are the art projects. And I'm thinking, when things weren't working out, I mean, it was all done with, lightheartedness. It was fun. But it's like, I'm a cursor. That's who I am. It's like, oh, come on yeah. I let this big stream of words go through. And then it's like it gets rid of that frustration. And then I go at it again. I try something different. Or sometimes I try the same thing again. But I keep going at it until I get it to where it is that I'm happy with it. Now, having said that, I'm not finished with the art projects. But I got to the point where it's like, okay, I know what I have to do. I just need more time to set things up and need to take my time with it a little bit more. But at least I know where I'm going and what I'm doing at this point. So I'm good with that. And, but it doesn't always go that way, right? Sometimes I'm stumped and I can't get out of my own way for rhyme or reason. I'm, watching stuff on YouTube. I'm searching for someone who can, who knows more than I do, who can help me. And sometimes I find the person, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I feel like I'm, swimming upstream like a salmon against the current. And, and I've got a couple of pieces of tech that are like that for me right now. And it's like, come on, this should be like easy peasy, especially at this point in time. But it's not, or whatever. I'm missing some step. I'm missing some little thing. Can't seem to get it. And I keep putting it down and going back to it and putting it down and going back to it, doing some research. And what I find is that it not only does it stop me from doing what it is that I want to do, but even more than that, it pisses me off because I'm sitting there wasting time trying this thing over and over again. Little tweak here, little tweak there. Like, surely to goodness, it can't be that hard to do. And so, I've just got to find the right person to help me and then move forward. And so many times life is like that, right? It teaches you these lessons. And sometimes it has to teach you that same lesson like 3, 4, 5 times until you finally like, oh yeah, oh, I get it now. I get it now, And, life is our greatest teacher. And, the people who are in our lives are often, represent that. They are our greatest teachers, and sometimes in the most beautiful of ways. And sometimes they show us, who we are being at that moment in time, or they show us who we would like to be, or they show us something, right? They teach us something about ourselves. And we tend to project, we tend to say it's all about this other person who's standing in front of us, but really 99% of the time, it's some aspect of ourself that we're recognizing in that person. And if it's something that you like about yourself, you probably become really good friends. And if it's something you don't like about yourself, you'll probably, kick that person to the curb and move forward, into other friendships. And I just find it really funny because, I don't know, life teaches us lessons, and how we react, there's a lot to be said for that. And that's kind of where we need to go to examine, to get to know ourselves better, and maybe to change a few things. Maybe not. That's my musing for the day. Have a great one, everyone.